Hey guys, it's Bill from Linden, Tennessee. I have brakes. I've installed brakes. And I think I might have gone a little bit overboard. These are 6-piston calipers from a ZX6R Kawasaki motorcycle. Now I had these laying around in the shop. They were going to be for another project that I put on the back burner, but I may have taken it off of this oven completely. I don't know. Anyway, since I just had them laying around and I needed some brakes and I kind of needed them hydraulic, this is what I came up with. Now, the factory Cub Cadet brakes are mechanical disc brakes. I don't have one in here, but that was going to be a big problem for me since all my brake action is going to be on the back, and I would have to run a cable or something like that. And I had these things and I thought it'd be cool, and I think it looks fabulous. And so the way this kind of works is I had to make those mounting brackets, obviously. And so how you do that is you kind of place the calipers where you want them, and then you just start piecing together a whole bunch of pieces of paper. And in this case it's just manila paper, like from a file folder. So you just get a whole bunch of pieces and you just start taping it all together, and you transfer some holes, and then you come up with something like this. And then what you want to do is you want to transfer that to a piece of metal, a thinner piece of metal that's easier to work with. This is 16 gauge. The reason you want to do that is so that you can place this up against the actual part and just make sure that nothing interferes, because with the paper it's really easy for that paper to sort of bend around objects. In fact, when I first did this, I had these brackets on the inside. And it turns out that this flange is thicker than the one on the bottom because it's designed to be mounted here. So it actually works out a whole lot better that it is mounted on the outside, because I can just run the bolts through, and well, that's that. So that's how I did that, and here it is with the tire on it. I think it looks great. It sort of looks like it's supposed to be there, if you ask me. But yeah, the irony of this is I'll probably never even use these brakes. That motor is going to give me as much reverse torque or regen as it gives forward torque. So, you know, whenever I lift off the accelerator, the motor is just going to go into reverse torque, and it's going to stop this thing like right now. And since I'm not going to be going that fast anyway, I think the only thing these brakes are really going to be used for is if I have a trailer or something and I'm on a hill and I just need to hold myself there. And I'll also put a manual, like a valve, like an on-off valve in the brake line, so that'll be my parking brake. So I can push the brakes on, tighten that valve, and that'll be that. Last time we talked about my throttle, my accelerator linkage. So that's there and looking good. I got some springs. I need to put a return spring on there, something like that. Oh yeah, by the way, if anybody wants to do this ridiculous thing with their own Cub, I have the template. So if you want to do that, just let me know and I'll mail that thing to you. Just give it back to me. But yeah, so I got these springs, so I'll just put these springs on here somehow, and just manual return springs. Now, if you do notice, I don't have the link in here anymore. That's because I don't have any more of those little rod ends. So I've got the little rod ends over here on the brake side, and I have a brake pedal. And the way that worked is, where's my creeper? So the way that works is, I made the brake lever is the same as what's on the other side, and did the same thing where I just got a bearing in here, and let's do that. Yeah, so I just got a bearing, and then I just welded a little tab onto the bottom of here, tapped it for 1032, and stole my rod ends off of the accelerator. Put another rod in there and drilled and tapped the center of that rod. And this is actually the master cylinder from the motorcycle. Oh, dang it! Hold on, all hung. That's what she said. This is the master cylinder from the motorcycle. So, yeah. Now I went through in my brain several iterations of how I was going to do this. Of course, on the motorcycle, it's attached to your handlebar, so you've got a little bracket like this. And I kind of thought that I might sort of put, you know, the end of a handlebar down here, weld it to the frame, and then this would just slide over it, and it would hold on just like it would on the motorcycle. But then it occurred to me that if I just take this shell off, all I got to do is just drill a couple holes, and I can put bolts through the back, and that's what we got. So I'd like to introduce to you the most difficult bolts to reach on this entire thing. You just can't get to these stupid things. Like, I hope I never have to take that off. I'll have to take it off one more time when I paint this, but yeah, those bolts are really hard to get to. But anyway, so that's how that goes. And as for the flexi lines, these are just the flexi lines that were on the motorcycle. Normally these would have gone up and around and over the front fender into this little combination. It's not a combination valve. It's a junction block. And it just happens to work that they work perfectly. So I'm gonna just grind a flat spot on here, drill and tap 2 holes, and put those right there. I'll get some fittings from Summit Racing, and I'll put a flexi hose from here, probably put a clamp right about there, run it across the middle, and then it'll come up and over, it'll come up to my parking brake like I was talking about, and then it'll just come over into the outlet of the master cylinder. Now this is the little rubber line for the, is that clear? I think that's out of focus, isn't it? I can't tell. If it is, so this is the little rubber line for the reservoir. So I'll just run a longer line and just put it up under the seat or something. So that'll be accessible. So that's what I did today. Just thrilled as anything about it. I think it looks fantastic. It came out great. I had to make this piece right here because, believe it or not, I called Cub Cadet and they don't make an adapter for motorcycle calipers to mount to your Cub Cadet, so I had to make one. Isn't that crazy? But I think it turned out wonderful, and yeah, I'm thrilled. And that's the stop light switch from the motorcycle. If I want to use that, all I need to do is just weld on a little tab from that piece right there. Oh yeah, watch that thing work. Just weld on a little tab. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, just weld on a little tab here, and I can have a stoplight. Now I don't know if I'm going to need that or not. You can have a stop switch for the motor controller. You can have it set up so you have to have your foot on the brake before you can start it, or before you can put it in drive or reverse. And then you can also have it set so that there's no regen until you apply the brake pedal, and then it'll give a certain amount of regen. But I don't like doing it that way. I like having a variable amount of regen, kind of like you have a variable amount of accelerator, variable amount of throttle. The harder you push, the faster you go. Well, the more you let off, the more regen you get back. So that's how I'll have it set up. So I may not even use the stoplight switch, but it's there. The only thing that's kind of a bummer about this, with the tire on, it's kind of close. It's kind of close to the tire, but it'll be fine. It's obviously weather and waterproof, so that won't be an issue. It is just kind of close. I don't plan on doing any mud bogging or anything like that, so there shouldn't anything, you know, find its way and damage that. But yeah, so that's what I've been up to this weekend, and I think the next project is to get the coolant system working. I've got the little catch can started. Now I actually sold my TIG welder. I sold my TIG welder last week, so I can't finish these reservoirs. And I bought some, see that little adapter right there? I bought some adapters that'll weld onto these things however it goes. But I can't do it until I get a new TIG welder. I've been wanting to upgrade the one that I had, so now that I sold that one, I can go ahead and buy another one. And what else? I think that's it. Yeah, moving right along. Apparently there's a big show in Evansville, Indiana in June. I'm looking forward to going to that. I really hope to have this done by then. I think I will. I don't really see a problem with getting this done by then. And yeah, I got another hood over the weekend because I need to. There's my old one. I got another hood because I need to extend out this one because this one stops right here, but I need it to go, back to right there. So I got a whole nother hood. Met this fantastic guy. His name is Robert. He lives up in Dixon, Tennessee. He's got quite a collection of the original Cub Cadets. Like, that's what they're called, original Cub Cadets. Like, from the 60s. He's got a really cool collection of those. And he even has an articulating four-wheel drive Cub. Really, really neat guy. He made a tracked Cub Cadet. So it didn't articulate, but he just put tracks on it. And I think he said that the undercarriage was the assembly or whatever from a forklift somehow. I'm going to get more information on that because I think that'd be a really cool thing to do. But anyway, that's a future project. So, all right, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.